Hello everyone, my name is Hikaru Kiyonaga and welcome to my channel. It's been 23 years now that I've been publishing a magazine about Canadian artists and designers, and it's been a privilege to work with them and to go into their homes and meet their family and kids and dogs, and for me to see their studio setup and how they create or the environment they create in. And it's a first person connection as well, into seeing how we live. Of course, we have our products from Amazon and our TV sets from Best Buy, but so there's something in their home that they create themselves, that is that painting or that table, or that lamp, and it's special because it's by our own hands and our own expression, and our own authorship, which I really appreciate when I see that lamp there that they've made and they start talking about it. So I carry that insight and that blessing of experiencing the joy of others and their creation. And I'm thinking now as well too that I've been doing this for a while, of course, and I really appreciate all the people I've worked with, and I cherish everyone. Thank you. But it's also a time where I can get back to my work as well too. So I'm also a metalsmith and graduate of the Ontario College of Art, which is now OCAD. And these are my bronze pieces. So I specialize in bronze foundry, casting in gold, silver, aluminum, bronze, sculpture. And also I can cast in plastics as well. But one of my major themes in my work is the baby, which is here. Here's the baby with the mother and child, your typical theme in art. And here's the baby. So, and it's a baby in a blanket, which to me is special because it means, rebirth or new hope or care or love, or a new seed. It looks like a seed as well too when you plant in nature. And most of my work is based in nature, about how nature grows and how we take care of it or should be taking care of it. So everything grows with this sort of hope. That could be a seed with new hope growing into a tree. And what I've done was I've stylized it into a smaller piece like this. And I'm going to be making this in this video and showing you how as well, so you can also learn or join me. Now, there's another bronze piece here that I've created, which I'll talk about later on. And some of these rings here, here's a baby ring. Does it look sort of weird or freaky? And it's this baby here cast in plastics. And I've also done it in various colors too. But I think for now, I'm not going to focus on the plastics, but I'll focus on metal and foundry, and I'll be making various things, which I hope you can join me. So let's get started. So we begin with some wax, and this is wax specifically for casting, as this is a lost wax process. There's the baby's blanket, and there I'm going to insert the head, which is the head of the baby, or the pea for the pod, as this is my special winter seed creation. On the bottom you can see is what it's called a runner, and here's a butter knife, which is my favorite tool of all time. And I'm now going to use that hot knife to sear and melt the wax to join the two pieces. So then it becomes a more stronger permanent bond. Then you take a tall bowl, or maybe a grande, and you cut it up like this to make the container for the mold that we're about to build now. So once again, this is a lost wax process, and way back the Egyptians would use sands for sand casting. And here is my knife again, which I've had for so many years, a trusty knife, which is so invaluable to me. And just to have it heat up is a symbol of my joy of doing this. Now, I take the baby piece and sear and melt the bottom. Get the cup ready, and you see the wax melts deliciously into the cup. I wouldn't suggest eating the wax though. Now here we are just pressing onto the cup, and it stays there permanently as it cools down. The next step is you would get some plaster, which is your mold or investment material, and I buy this at Home Depot. But of course, what I normally use professionally is hydrocal, which is gypsum cement, and that's what plaster really is. It's gypsum. And I guess the plaster of Paris came from Ben Franklin, I think, went to Paris and said, "Oh look, this is plaster from Paris," and that gave it its name. Please tell me if I'm wrong. So here we pour the plaster into the container. And then what we do is put our fingers in and just hit the cup a bit like this so that the bubbles come out. And then we put it in the oven like so for about 450 degrees and heat it up so then the wax melts out, therefore lost the wax, as you can see dripping there. And now we heat up the crucible, which I use a graphite crucible. And there's some pewter and some bits of pewter that I've already put into the crucible. I also add some silver too, to add to the shine later on. So this is my special, I guess, mixture of metals, which I love doing. And in many ways, it's a sort of an alchemy, which is part of the art of metal, which I enjoy and miss very much. I've been told that I have this late night radio voice. So if you're dead tired and just got home and it's late, please feel free to use this video to help you fall asleep. So notice the metal now being scraped of some impurities, and that molten metal is gorgeous. Here we go, pouring the molten metal with a bit of heat into the mold that is now free of the wax. And then when it's in that mold, I would just hit it like so with a wrench or a screwdriver while heating it up, so it retains a bit of that flexibility. This part I love too because it does create another flame. Okay, and then we hit it with the hammer, like so, and remove the plaster. Or in ancient times, we'd remove sand or other investment materials. And revealed is the piece. Now, our next stage is the grinding and polishing stage. So remember to wear your safety goggles, because I've had numerous pieces of metal just fly into my eyeballs, and you spend weeks sort of wondering where it is. So here I have a Dremel, and I'm now attaching a cutting wheel to then sort of cut off and shave a bit of that runner. So I'm now using a polishing stone. I believe that's aluminum oxide at the end of my Dremel, and that allows me to shape the sort of harsher, sharper ends to form a curve for the basket. A sharper, sort of more pointed tip now for the crevices around the baby's head. As you can see, I do have a lot of material from the casting left over. I need to sort of get out. And that takes time as well too. And then a wire brush. And the wire brush allows me not only to get into the sort of deeper crevices of curved parts, but also sort of a raking effect to sort of go through the whole piece. Okay, that always happens. And you look around, either you go get a coffee and chill, or you sort of laugh at yourself in embarrassment. Now, my favorite part here is the polishing part. That's brown tripoli. You sort of rub it against it to sort of get some goo from it, if we can call it goo for now, and then just nicely just polish it to a finer surface, and then the red rouge for a final effect. And once I do that, I then take a jewelry cloth and then rub it, and then reveal it at the end like this to sort of see where you're at, whether you need more work or you see some pieces that need to be perfected, some parts that need to be redone, or you sort of admire it for a while. And it's a satisfactory part of the whole process. And here I have a piece of wood from my garage that I've just put it on a sunny day to look at it and to sort of feel proud of your work. Now, to bring us out, I do have a friend of mine, Greg, who's a street musician in Yorkville, and I think I just want to give this as a bit of a salute to him to sign us off.